this is going to be good.
Ready?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Great. Okay,
Yes.
Melissa. Mrs. Jones. Hey,
Everyone.
how are you?
I'm good, thanks, guys. How are you?
Fantastic.
What's
Doing
up,
really
MJ?
good.
How are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here and listen to you guys go back and forth. It's always fun.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, stop sharing for a second so that we could get Melissa on the screen. There we go. Hey, so how are you today?
I'm great. You
Awesome.
couldn't see me before.
Now we can see you good. So, hey, everybody, this is Melissa Jones, our Vice President of Advocacy and HR at Ibüümerang, and she is a pro. We've had the pleasure of working with Melissa's going all the way back to, what, 2018?
I think so. It's been a while.
Yeah. And she does a fantastic job of keeping us out of trouble. As a matter of fact, we had a great meeting yesterday. Thank you for your advice on our upcoming event, some of the things that we need to do there. So, hey guys, we're going to turn things over to Melissa because she's going to talk with you a little bit about what the advocacy department does, and she's going to give you some tips about how you can keep your business clean and stay out of trouble, right? It's very, very important. So MJ, it's on you.
So I'll see the slides, correct? Because I don't see them now.
Did we send them to you?
Yeah, you did, but I can't upload them.
Okay, then Mark is going to help you.
I'll share for you. Just let me know when
Okay.
you're ready to go.
Thank you. So thanks, everyone. Just want to say good morning and good afternoon to everyone that's on in Ibüümerang. So happy to be here. I also wanted to do a little fun thing and say this is the VP of Advocacy coming straight at you. So the first person to tell me who I sounded like gets a free pass on a suspension. And
I might need that one.
Huh?
I might need that free pass.
Latrice gets a first free pass because that's definitely Tigray every morning. So Mark, you can actually, I just wanted to show the team actually, because it's not only me. I know that, you know, everyone hears my name. However, this is the team behind all of the, you know, tickets and responses that you guys get. And I must say they're a wonderful team. They're very diligent. They're always available 24 hours a day. So this is the team behind that Ibüümerang that makes us compliant. So I just wanted to congratulate them as well. You can go to the next slide. So for the newcomers and stuff, I just wanted to explain why we call it advocacy just one more time so that people can understand. We don't like to, you know, reprimand our ambassadors or our customers. That's not what we're here for. We're basically here to support, educate, and literally provide the necessary legal content or knowledge to you guys to make sure that you guys can conduct your business and have a successful flow. So you can go to the next slide. And then let me see what's next. I got to learn how to upload slides, guys, on this thing. So our values are pretty simple here at Advocacy. You know, we want to educate you guys. We definitely want to support you, but we also want to be personable. So sometimes I know people get suspended or they can't access their account. We don't want you guys to, you know, feel that negative feeling. We just, in order, we've done a few things in order for us to have gotten to the point where we needed to suspend or put the account on hold. But when you respond to us, then we want to have that open communication. It's not just your account suspended or on hold and it's not an open communication. It definitely is an open communication. We want you guys to be able to explain the situation to us. We're very open. We understand sometimes things happen, or maybe you just didn't know. Maybe you didn't know a post was out there. Maybe it was from a long time ago. So I'll get more into it. And this training today is not with any kind of timelines. It's more or less to let you know what we do, because I don't think we've ever really done a training like that, to let you guys know what advocacy actually does and what types of I guess, requests that you can send to us. So the next slide. So on the screen, you'll see these are the types of things that we do that you can send in information on. So sometimes you need to change your personal details. Sometimes you want to submit a transfer of ownership, a visa letter, like for the event that's coming up. Sometimes you need a visa letter depending on the country you're coming from in order to attend the event. Sometimes there's, you know, legal claims, social media violations, social media reporting. So sometimes maybe you see something and you want to let us know. So the next. Personal details. So let's go a little bit deeper so you know what the qualifications are to have a successful response on this. Sometimes you want to update your correct name. Sometimes your last name or first name or anything, it may be wrong. What we need you to do is usually fill in the form and or send in a ticket with all of these details. So we need your email, phone number, your social security number, tax ID. If you're a business entity, we need those information as well. We need proof that you own that company. Usually you'll have an EIN number attached to your business registration. Change of usernames come through. We actually don't do changing of usernames. That's like, so make sure when you're registering or you're teaching your team to register that the name that they pick for their username will be indefinite. And then full name. Sometimes if you need to change your name, we want you to be able to send these things in. You will be asked to send in proof of identification, and that's for the security of, you know, your account. So the next page. Okay, so transfer of ownerships. Transfer of ownerships are if you decide, you know what, you've gotten into this business, maybe a life event happened and maybe you can no longer conduct your team, you can't do any more meetings, or you just, you know, want to move your account to somebody else. The qualifications to do this so that you understand not just anyone can actually apply for this. You have to be a qualified Sapphire or higher. So your ranking has to be Sapphire or higher, and you also have to be in good standing. You definitely have to complete that transfer of ownership form, which I think is found, I think, Mark, I want to say in the back office. If not, it is on iBoom Hub. And if you still can't find it, you can always email us. We will send you the form. Okay. The person that's actually requesting the transfer must be the one sending it from the email that's registered with our account. So you can't send from a totally different email. The new owner that you want to transfer to can't request it. It has to come directly from the account holder. Okay. All of these requests, just because you send it in, doesn't necessarily mean that it will be approved. It has to go through levels of, you know, I have to check certain things. So it may not be approved, but it can be a discussion to see why. It could be for any reason. And what I would suggest is when you're sending it in, you have to remember that you have to send an ID, and you also have to let us know a little bit of a background story as to why you're doing the transfer of ownership. Okay, next. Oh, I lost Mark. Okay, so visa letters, and this is a hot topic, especially right now because of the Houston event that's coming up in a couple, I think it's next weekend. So we need a certain time frame in order to prepare the visa letters. Now that travel is opened up, we do host about 4 events every year. So we know that some countries, not all, require a travel, like a visa. So to everybody, it's called a visa letter. However, it is an invitation letter, and we need to do some background checks before we actually issue this letter. It goes through a couple different departments prior to it being sent to you. So usually there is an invitation letter. So it's a visa application form that's filled out. It needs to be clear. There's a lot of back and forth sometimes if the printing on that form or it's not typed out. If it's not clear enough for us, it will slow down that process. We also need this request 15 days prior to any event to ensure that there's enough time for us, 1, to get it to you, and 2, that you can get it approved on your end, so in your country. So if the letter, we do get a lot of requests back where they're saying it's declined, can we get a different letter? can you do something else? So unfortunately, an invitation letter is very structured. It's pretty much the same. If your country denies the approval of that visa letter, there's actually nothing that we can do. We can only issue the invitation letter, and it's based on the approval of your country. So sometimes it depends. Sometimes we receive requests like, can you revise it? Can you say something different? So we actually can't, because we have to follow the legal protocols. Okay, next. So sponsor changes. This sometimes happens when you're registering. Sometimes you type in the wrong sponsor, which we want to tell you, don't freak out. It can be changed. We want to ensure that you're aware. So if you notice that when you've registered or someone in your team has registered, they have 10 days from the day that they registered in order to request the change. Anything after 10 days, it's locked in because the system won't allow us to make those changes. Okay, so it's almost, and what we're going to say along those lines as well is, when you're registering, sometimes you're like, oh no, I made a mistake, it's past 10 days, and then you want to sign back up again. So you create another account, and then our system actually catches it for multiple signups. So what happens is both accounts end up getting locked or placed on hold, and then we code you as a violation of having multiple accounts. So the best thing to do is not re-register, but to contact support and let them know that you've registered under the wrong sponsor, and we'll make every effort to make the correction. Okay, next. Other violations. Let's see what else there is. So multiple accounts is one of them. We don't allow registering accounts for ambassadors and customers without their knowledge. So this is when a leader comes in and they're so excited and they want to, build their team, but they end up having names and maybe addresses from previous businesses, or maybe they just have that data or a list. We do not accept registering accounts for people without their knowledge. Those accounts will be closed and terminated along with the person who did that. Okay, that is a total no-no for us, and we take that very seriously. Okay, sending spam messages to people as well. So that also, I know around the industry, there's lots of lists that go out and people get, pay for lists or whatever it is that's out there, but they get a lot of data. And with that data, you want to be able to promote your business and build your business. And that's fine. Ibüümerang wants you to build your business and expand your downlines and your business. However, we don't allow spamming. Spamming is a huge no-no in this industry. It comes at a cost of being sued. And those fees are very hefty. And it's not to the company that those actually, those lawsuits come through to. It actually goes to the person who did that. So my suggestion is, if you want to build your team, you need to have those face-to-face conversations. You need to get that approval before you send any messages out to people. Okay, and that will create a honest business. Okay, next. Okay, social media do's and don'ts. The girls, Isabel and Mayatha, actually did a great job last week. So I actually thought maybe I would talk a little bit about it again, but just more on the legal side. So you can go to the next slide. So how to safeguard your Ibüümerang opportunity. This is basically what we'll go through for the next few slides. Next. So out there, I've noticed as well, so be aware, this is a huge one. We do not under any circumstances contact any of you guys. So ambassadors, customers, anyone through social media. We only post social media posts for building the business, to inform you, to let you know of the next event. All information that you're going to get will be here on Flight School or through our official social media channels. We never ever ask for money or cryptocurrency via social media channels or any direct messages through those channels either. We will never ask you for money. So I've seen a lot of reports coming from the ambassadors, which I am so happy to see. that they're reporting it. Anytime you receive these types of messages, please, if it's on Instagram, report that account, because it's not something that we will do. It doesn't come from us. Okay, and also report it to us as well, so that we can also take care of it on our end. Okay. Next, I think there's some questions coming through. What is the definition of spamming? Okay, so spamming is where you have a list of people, and you send out an email blast without speaking to each person individually. So you don't want to put all of those emails in a blind copy and send them an email blast. That's what spamming is. Spamming could also be, though, that you send a text blast where you just create a chat, I think on, like, say, WhatsApp, and you just add all of these numbers that you've never really spoken to, you don't know, and you just send a text with your link. That's what spamming is. I hope that helped you, Jackie. And next. So misuse of trademark on social media. So again, we're going to go back to using Ibüümerang's logos, you know, the different ones that we have, the Zens, the Build Genius, the Elevate. We want you guys to build your business. This is an independent business. So you're going to want to make sure you use the logos, the independent logos that are located, I think, on iBoom Hub. And you need to make your page noticeable for any person to see that it's an independent, that you're an independent ambassador or independent customer or independent anything of a company. So we don't want to see you using our logos because it could be very misleading to the public eye. Okay, next. Oh, I see bid. Okay. Always place your independent Ibüümerang logos on all of your social media, such as like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of those social media channels. You need to put that independent logo. You need to even write it. Sometimes if the image is too small, too big, and you don't see the whole entire independent TSA, you can write it in your handles. You can write it in some of your posts. Make sure you can hashtag independent TSA so that people know that you're not corporate. Okay, next. Okay, social media profiles. So on social media, you can add things like entrepreneur. So we're giving you a little bit of examples: business owner, associate. So we ask that you never represent yourself as a company or an employee, or even as an exec management. So we've seen a little bit of that too. So we want to bring that up to you guys. The independent TSA is very important, not just to yourself, but also to the company. And we also ask that when building your team, that in order for you to attract people, which, you know, you got to come up with unique ideas on how to like build your team. But we've seen a lot of people doing things like, you know, putting out ads or saying that you're hiring. You're actually not hiring for your business because it's independent, right? That's why it's very important to make sure that the person you're trying to attract, they don't think that it's an actual job or that they're getting hired by Ibüümerang, because that's not the case. Okay, so we ask that you don't try to build your team based on pretending to hire them for an opportunity. Okay, next. So social media handles. So this is a big one because this is where our suspensions are coming in a lot. And we know that you're excited to, you know, I guess, delve into this social media world, and it's a very big world. But we don't want you to use the Ibüümerang logo just like that. We don't also want you to use the handle. So the name field can't show Ibüümerang. I've been seeing a lot of like Ibüümerang Mexico, Ibüümerang, you know, with a country name, Ibüümerang, and then your team name. We ask that you remove the word Ibüümerang and just sell yourself. And then within your post, you can post certain things like, you know, independent TSA, you know, promoting your business. But we ask that you don't use the Ibüümerang name just on its own. Otherwise, it becomes very misleading. You know, lawsuits can come through, and then we're stuck having to, you know, send you a legal claim that's going to end up coming through, right? So we want to be able to protect you. This is not just protecting Ibüümerang, it's actually protecting the company and yourself, okay? So we want you just to stand out, to be unique to yourself. Remember, you want to build your team around yourself, around your leadership, on how you promote your business. You don't want to pretend and base your business off on, you know, I don't want to say lies, but like misleading. Okay, next. So website names, domain names, emails, we ask that you don't use these as well. So it's very confusing because then they think you're a part of the corporate. So we've seen a lot of, like, you know, iboomerang.melissa@gmail.com, or I go for less, you know, .sarah.com. So please remove anyone that has emails that are associated with any one of these, any one of our verticals, then Skin Tech, Build, Genius, Elevate, EX8, all of these. If you have them as your email right now, we ask that you kindly change them, because as we come across them, please don't get alarmed if your account gets placed on hold. It's because it's either because of one of these things or another violation. So I would ask everyone to please, you know, educate your teams, let them know, you know, be unique to yourself, not to use our actual name within your emails. Okay. We also ask that you don't create domain names when you're going to want to do websites for yourself. You need to, again, be unique. If you want to use Ibüümerang or any one of our verticals within your domain, you must get approval from us prior to doing it. So the approval has to come through to support, and then it's discussed as the corporate level to see if it's even allowed. 90% of the time, it will not be allowed, but please request for approval first. Okay, next. So before and after results, we ask that you don't show the date or the timeline because it could be misleading. Sometimes people think, you know, a leader comes in who has a very big following, and they come in and they end up making or moving up in a rank very quickly. But then there's the same person who came in who may not have that big following, so they're not able to make the same rank advancement as them. So we ask that you don't put like the timeline, because it is misleading to others, right? They might think, oh my gosh, I just joined Ibüümerang and I made, you know, this much money in this short time. So it's almost like a guarantee, right? Because we cannot guarantee, like Tigray said at the beginning with the disclaimer, we can't guarantee the results for everyone. People have different followings, people, you know, have different type of industries that they were in. So we ask that you don't make promises that you can't keep, okay? We also ask, because we do have Skin Tech, we ask you, or Sense as well. So we ask that you don't use disease names, right? Like you don't make claims about healing or curing or anything of that nature, because those are actual product claims. And those accounts that I do see have to be automatically placed on hold, okay? So maybe you want to go back today and kind of, after hearing this today, you want to go back through your social media channels and just check your hashtags, check your posts that you put out. Maybe you have something similar to this. And what will happen is it'll actually remove the ability for us to actually suspend the account, right? It'll, you know, dissolve that part. But if you have questions, you can always send us the copy of the post and we'll review it and let you know, okay? Next. Oh, I love this one. Income claims. So don't be like Mike. Clearly, don't make income claims. Don't show images that portray huge amounts of money. Don't use the word freedom. Don't use the word financial freedom. Don't make promises that you cannot guarantee that person. Don't show big yachts that are like millions and millions of dollars if you truly can't purchase that right now, or it's truly not yours. Those are all income claims, brand claims. That's what we call them, like a luxury lifestyle claim. So these types of things I see all the time. It is very misleading, and the FTC is very particular on these types of claims, okay? So we ask that go through your posts again, make sure, even hashtag. If you have hashtag financial freedom, hashtag freedom, It's all dependent on the actual post. So even if you have a post that's not, like the picture is not showing money and stuff, if your hashtag says financial freedom, it's still a violation. Okay, next. So recruiting. So you shouldn't say specific things that people can do. Like I said before, don't make promises that you can't keep as a leader. Never say to them, because I see this a lot too, never say quit your 9-to-5 job, quit your, your, whatever it could be, you can pay your rent with Ibüümerang, you can fund your family vacations with Ibüümerang, you can be free. All of those things are guarantees, which you can't do. Don't say financial freedom again. I had to put that back in there. Don't say you can do a complete career change. These are things that you're guaranteeing a person that they may not have the same results as you. Okay. Next. So question, can we share posts that Ibüümerang uses in the word freedom? So I'm actually doing a cleanup as well of our posts just to explain that. Things that are on Ibüümerang, you can share posts from the corporate, but I refrain, again, when you're doing your hashtags, please don't put the word freedom, like financial freedom. Just look at the post and gauge if it looks or feels misleading to a person. If they feel like, oh my God, I'm going to get into Ibüümerang and I'm going to be, a gazillionaire. Those types of, if you read that post and you feel like that, then you know it's wrong. Okay. So recruiting, you can say this: work on your own schedule, work from the comfort of your home, stay at home while working, enjoy your family time. So those are just different ways that you can explain that, but you're still kind of saying, instead of using financial freedom, you're actually giving them an example, like, yeah, you can work on your own schedule. You can do Ibüümerang from wherever in the world, right? It's a mobile, it's a portable business. You can go anywhere. So, but you also need to make sure that the person knows that the business, it requires effort, right? I think Tigray mentioned it in the beginning. It could be hard, but at the same time, it's also could be very rewarding. It just depends on the efforts of yourself. Okay, next. So recognition, this is a big one too. Never say, like, I know you want to promote your teams and how well they're doing, but we ask that you don't say how much they can earn. When you're going to congratulate somebody on social media, I see a lot of like, oh, look at blue diamond, look, or, black diamond, or look at sapphire. So a lot of people who are not in this business that you're trying to attract, they actually don't know what those rank advancements are. So a suggestion is you can put the word sapphire, but a better way to say it is sapphire is one of the successful businesses in building ranks in Ibüümerang. So congratulations on achieving that level of success. So what that's doing is you're still saying the word, but you're actually explaining what that is to somebody else who's looking at that post, rather than just going black diamond in quotation, because it could also be, misleading. Okay, next. Okay, so this is a big one right now with what's going on in the world and what we're just coming out of. So don't capitalize on fear. This is a very big one. This will result in a suspension immediately, because you can't use things that are happening in our world to attract business. You can't use the word pandemic, cannot use COVID-19, can't use flu season. You got to focus on the positive things. You can't capitalize on a person's fear of, oh my gosh, like I'm going to lose my job, like for whatever's happening in their life. You can't give them Ibüümerang and say, well, you know what, through a pandemic, I just made, $7 million. Like that's a total no-no. Okay. There's no audio. Mark?
There is, Melissa.
Oh, there is. Okay. Sorry, I thought people can hear me. You can go to the next one. So guys, I just want you to know, in order to contact advocacy, this is the best way to do that, because we have a filter. We make sure that we track and check all the tickets. So you reach us at support@ibüümerang.com. And again, if you can't access your account, please don't freak out. Just contact us, let us know you can't access your account, something happened, you don't know. We'll look into it and we'll communicate back to you guys. We also just wanted to, before I end my segment, I also wanted to let you know social media tickets that are coming through. We ask that you check your spam, check your junk mail, because the tickets that we respond to for social media violations come from a different email. I should have actually put that in here again, but we need you to respond. So if you're emailing support and we're telling you to go back into your email, it means that you must check your spam folder or your junk folder for an email that says advocacy at, I think, fw.com, and it's a violation of a social media. In that email, it will contain every single violation that we need you to remove. So that email is very important, because we will even, like, I've done a lot of things where I've asked my team to make sure that they send you guys the links, the videos, the pictures of all of the violations. So please check if you have those in your junk mails. It seems that there's a lot of misconfusion when it comes to that sometimes you guys are saying you don't receiving them. However, prior to suspending or putting your account on hold, we send 3 to 4 emails prior to doing that. We don't just suspend right away. We actually give you time to adjust or look for that email. Okay. So I don't know if there's any other questions, but I hope that was good for you guys, and glad to be here.